often there's high margins, but not always. Cons, requires cash to pre-purchase inventory. And this has been the hardest part for many people. KPI requires, on average, $36,000 pre-purchase inventory to make $1,000 profit per week after all expenses. A lot of people don't get this. A lot of people come in and they'll say, you know, they want to build a full-time import business, and I'll say, how much are you going to spend on inventory? I don't know, $5,000, won't work. Unless you can find that miracle product out there, and they're out there. This is an average. But if you keep doing it over time, it gets very hard to find those miracle products. And the next thing is the MOQ, minimum order quantities. When you start off small, manufacturers, distributors, suppliers, they want you to buy larger numbers because of the economics of scale. They don't want to sell you one at a really good price. So you've got to buy obviously a higher amount, which makes it more of a challenge when you start off. So the MOQ is always an issue. Next thing is shipping cost economics when they're small. Currently, to get a container from China costs around $2,200 door to door, $2,200 to get a 20-foot container from China to Australia. Now, that holds 27 cubic metres. If you can't fill that 27 cubic metre container, you've got to pay small amounts, which of course economics go up. Now, and also in 1969, we had a treaty with Australia, with China, and that is that China can send parcels, large letters, way cheaper than you and me. If you post 2 iPad cases to yourself or to your next door neighbour, it'll cost you $7.50 for 2 iPad cases. Send it from Shenzhen in China, it'll cost you $1.50 to Australia. So you can't compete.
Is that express or standard?
That's a standard MS.
Okay.
Is there any move to change that? Or?
Yeah, good question. So far, nothing. The way out of it is you simply do bigger items. The Chinese can actually ship items cheaper if they weigh less than 500 grams or 2 centimetres thick. If it's bigger than that, then the world tilts back in your favour. But if you do small stuff, the world tilts in the favour of the Chinese. So you don't want to do the small stuff, bottom line. But where do most eBay sellers start? Small stuff. Okay, so next is it's harder to find profitable products when you import. Less than 3% of the products that we research we find for importing work after we put in the equation of the shipping from the supplier and the shipping to the manufacturer, to the customer. Less than 3%. Whereas with, KPI with importing, one VA, one virtual assistant can produce 3 to 4 products per week, find 3 to 4 products per week. Whereas a VA for dropshipping can find greater than 40 products per week. Massive difference. That's 40 profitable products per week. Massive difference.
What do you mean by
Sorry,
virtual assistant?
Yeah. No, you're right.
Is that calculation, is that because of the large quantity of product that's required to make importing happen?
No, it's just simply that there's only that many products that make it. So our criteria is the product must sell at least 15 times a month for importing, and it must make greater than 30% profit. Otherwise, we won't import it.
And that's because of the the quantity that you need to import.
Yeah, because you need more history. So, and also the other equation is with importing, our rule is we must have at least 90 days history. Because everything we sell, we're going to get to this tonight, everything that we sell is proven. We never guess anything. Everything that we do is already proven to sell up. The other thing with importing is you need a warehouse, unless you use what we call a 3PL, a third-party logistics company. With, of course, drop shipping, you don't need a warehouse. And you need to ship inventory. With drop shipping, the supplier does all the work for you. You don't have to ship in inventory. So there's pros and cons. You also need to handle returns when you're importing. With drop shipping, all returns go back to the supplier. Happy days. And you need staff if you have a warehouse in Australia. You don't need them with drop shipping. You run the whole shebang overseas. We run 18 VAs and most of them in the Philippines. And you've got the risk of inventory not selling. You're going with drop shipping, don't have that risk. If it doesn't sell, you don't buy it because you get paid first.